Education doesn't mean only bookish knowledge. It is far more than bookish information. Education is a comprehensive scheme of life which is very much concerned with knowledge, attitude, and skill. Skill and practice-based education should be the integral part of higher education system.
So, good afternoon, Smita.
Good afternoon, Supriya.
So, tell me something about the background of this program. How did it start?
The internship program?
The internship program.
Yeah. See, basically, this was part of a larger project, a collaborative project between Centurion University and the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, funded by UTFORSK, which is the government of Norway. Yeah, it started in 2017-18. The initial phase, we could achieve some of the deliverables in terms of student exchange and faculty exchange and certain other activities. But with the pandemic, it reached an impasse. Yeah, when the pandemic started in March 2020, and we were unable to decide, how to take this this project forward. Yeah, so then we had to rethink and refocus. Yeah, and then we decided that let us engage student interns, to work on social enterprises, because this project is called, as you may know, it's called Sustainable Entrepreneurship through Skill Integrated Higher Education.
In this project, 13 interns worked in 2 states, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. 2,300 farmers were connected from 123 villages. They have formed 6 FPOs and 1 micro-enterprise. Here lies some of the fascinating stories from the work diaries of our interns. India is termed as the mango capital of the world as it tops the list of mango producing countries. One of our interns, Rasagna, traveled to Nellimala Mandalam of Andhra Pradesh. This is the sprangland of mango leather production. 90% of the farmers are associated with this profession. Initially, she mobilized the farmers to create Farmers Producers Organization or FPO. She got support from National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development and BRAIDS, a voluntary organization. At the end, she was able to create a FPO of 300 farmers. She worked hard to help the farmers to get benefit from different government schemes like PFME.
We have taken 20 farmers for starting a test. After that, seeing the results, many farmers have volunteered themselves to join here. And here are the results. We can see how our farmers are benefiting because of this scheme.
112 rural women are associated with the FPO. Under the scheme, Pradhan Mantri Micro Food Processing Enterprise, farmers reaped benefits by producing and marketing value-added products of mango, such as mango leather. Farmers got training for the value-added products.
In this, the farmers will get to have benefits of having subsidiary on machineries up to 35%, and they can get loans from the banks for doing their value added products, which is mango leather, up to 90% monetary fund from the government from banks.
During this internship, Rasagna created a FPO consists of 310 farmers who are the dwellers of 16 different villages. They intend to wipe out the bottlenecks of farming communities and then arriving with some alternative plan for obtaining sustainable development of the community.
In this internship, I have learned that I have seen what we have read in our books, seen them impractically. It is like learning by doing. I have experienced this thing, and I have learned from my farmers that time is very precious and labor management in my internship.
At the end, Rasagna realizes the motive for improvement must come from the people and they must practice new ideas by actually doing them. It's learning by doing which is most effective in changing people's behavior and developing confidence to use the new methods in future.
The internships that students have pursued has been in the area of forming farmer-producer organizations and also supporting self-help groups in the production of various products such as incense sticks, mango jelly and so on and so forth.
Southeast coast of Indian peninsula craved the sands of Andhra Pradesh. Pushapati coastal shoreline is consisting of lonely beaches. This area symbolizes the human struggle against nature. Cyclone is a clear threat here. Salty water and sandy soil of the area create a different type of agriculture. Rather than traditional agricultural crops, farmers prefer plantation crops like coconut. One of our interns came here to meet the coconut farmers. He intended to form farmers producer company. Here is the story of Suman Dake. At the beginning, Suman started to mobilize farmers with a motto to work on value-added products of coconut.
From last 3 months, I have been working here as a cluster coordinator as intern in UTFORSK internship project. We have formed one cluster farmer producer company. The name is Paiditallama Farmer Producer Company. Cluster name is Postpatrega.
300 farmers came together and formed the Farmers Producer Company. They have set up a coconut-based rope or coir factory.
So the student learning, basically they learned, how to set up enterprises, how to, strengthen the farmer producers organizations by increasing the membership, by encouraging farmers to become members, right? By making them understand the benefits that they would get with their membership in the farmer producers organizations, the different challenges, and also how to do the bank linkages, how to improve the sustainability of the farmer producers organization, and not only sustainability, also the profitability of the farmers and other stakeholders. That way they could and also work on different business plans. It's not only to just have single productions or just production, but also how to do value addition, value addition to the products, so that they can get better benefits.
During this internship, Suman drove the community in running through the activities initiated at Producer Company. He helped them to start the enterprise for providing service to all the Producer Company members.
we have already reached 300 farmers, and we have collected share capital amount as well as membership amount. Total amount 3,30,000 we have deposited in the company's account. From that we have started these type of works, and these works are going to the market actively.
During this internship, Suman came across the pages of practice-based education. He wants to work here. This is much more purpose-driven. Doris Lessing rightly opined, that is what learning is. You certainly understand something you have understood all your life, but in a new way.
Now let me first explain what is a social enterprise. Social enterprise is different from enterprise, and that I think is something we should explain here, and one should be very clear, is that social enterprise is something which is meant to solve the local problems and bring about a social change, and particularly among those like for example the farmers who are local farmers, small farmers, medium or marginal farmers, and as you all know, 85% of the farmers in India are small and marginal farmers, right? So now what we are trying to do is that we are trying to now bring about social change. We are trying to see that how their livelihoods could be improved.
Gajapati is one of the poorest districts of Orissa. This is the native land of several indigenous communities. One of our interns is traveling towards a forest-fringed tribal village. She is going to meet self-help group members. These self-help groups are inactive. It's time to rejuvenate. This is the story of Sonali Panda.
The mobilizations of the tribal women was started with the ITDA, and we have gone with a mobilization program in which we have motivated the tribal women how to make the agarbattis, how to procure the materials, how to take the training out of it and learn new things and market it in their own brand.
Sonali spent times with the members of self-help group. With the help of Integrated Tribal Development Society, she went for a baseline survey. Based on the need of the community, she made a business plan. It was decided to go for agarbatti or incense stick business. Hence, a training program was arranged. The main focus of the training was to provide end-to-end knowledge to the trainees. ITDA provided them machines. During this 15 days training program, the trainees got practical insights on production and marketing. The group got stimuli. It had practical fundamental monetary highlights for engaging their individuals. These highlights include self-financing, bank linkages, and marketing. Self-help group named as Mera Mahila Mandal is now providing economic stability to its members. The process of learning within groups created knowledge for empowerment. Self-education for development was geared towards enabling women to learn from each other. Women belonging to poor communities are learning from their everyday struggle for survival.
The other major challenge for them was though we produced the huge amount of the materials, where to market it. it was the major problem they were facing. So we have explained them that we will take all the responsibility of 3 months. We will make them market sustainable, and we will explain them where to search for the vendors, and we will be personally helping them for these all things. So they were much excited and motivated enough for them.
Centurion University of Technology and Management created the roadmap for marketing and brand making. The aim is to make them enough capable of marketing the finished product.
Ellen bukati training up sila Miguel Yardin.
Das and Das, in their research article, opined that Orissa, with its varied cultural base, inherited from ancient times, is endowed with large rivers and dense forests that have helped development of various livestock species with wide diversity. One of our interns visited Chilna Ranipeta to work with the livestock-based farm dwellers. Here is the story of Pragya Paramita. Initially, Pragya started to break the ice. Thereafter, she went for a baseline survey to understand the grassroots reality. Every individual's experience was evaluated by her. These learnings brought changes in one's way of responding as a result of practice or other experience.
So the project or the internship that I was working in, my task was to procure milk from small farmers or commercial producers who are giving milk to other companies as well. So our main plan was not to break their existing value chain and just to take a part of milk that was that they were going to sell outside and to bring that milk to our campus.
She mobilized the livestock owners to create group. As a result, they would have bulk production of milk. She was able to create a liaison between the farmers and Centurion University. Now Centurion University is going to buy their product. The basic element of adapting an innovation is information. She tried to provide them latest information regarding livestock management. She became the part of their community organization. During this period of time, she tried to trace out their problems, then help them to prepare a marketing plan which can increase their profit.
During this internship, I have learned the whole value chain of the dairy industry. What are the why they are involved, why there is involvement of middlemen, and why the farmers are not satisfied with the pricing strategy from the companies, why the farmers have to keep multiple marketing channels, why they are not satisfied with whatever the benefits the companies are providing to them. During this whole period, I have gained a confidence to deal with farmers or how to talk with farmers.
During this period of time, Pragya crossed a huge path. She got a lesson of community development. Community development is bringing forth the potential abilities and qualities of a group of people who live together in a common territory and who have an interdependent relationship with each other. It's a continuous process of social action by which people of a community define their common and group needs.
And one of the things which was, I would say, which is very unique in this case is that the number of women farmers who came forward to be members, of the FPOs. Initially it was not there, but through the interns, our students going and working with the farmers and working with the local communities and encouraging the women farmers to come forward and become members of the FPOs.
Anurag Mallik and Priya Ganapati rightly opined, dense forests, a hilly topography and remote tracts of land help Odisha support a thriving tribal population. Of the 645 scheduled tribes enlisted in India, Odisha hosts the largest number. 62 indigenous tribal communities resides in the state. Unchanged for centuries, mostly untouched by civilization, the ancient tribal settlements are found on hills or close to the rivers flowing near forests far from the plains. Sauras are one of the largest known tribes of India. Majority of them are hailing from Guma. One of our interns traveled to forest fringe villages of Saura tribes. He is one of them. He is from that community. Here is the story of Isbozeb.
Odisha is a state with so many different Adivasi populations. And I know that in some of these projects, very clever Adivasi students have taken part as interns, and they have got, this education. So I, not only gender, but I also think this ethnic dimension is important when you are thinking sustainability and value added or this more practice-based education.
During this internship program, Isbozeb started to mobilize the tribal farmers to form a farmers-producer organization. At the end, he was able to form a FPO of 300 indigenous farmers.
Centurion University underring nyen aboy internship lumlai kani Centurion University asarang UTFORSK asare kani breads ka yagi mai maile nyen internship lumlai kani lengan nyeni unji angai kani internship bara lumlai tetelengan nyen manranji kani orom baranji amang ba yere gorjang ba yere anin jadong etilaji itin anyumben itin gorjang ben anyum kan aku deban itin bati ambe manrang nabi nanya nate kan aku deban nyen anin jadong walai bar tete amuda bere nitin dakule gamlo bende kani project sanan san lakin intern.
community members decided to make him CEO. Isbozeb took the lead of Farmers Producer Organization. They have already got fund for moringa cultivation and gottery. They will start alternative farming from next year. This is a unique story which is bringing out the seeds of tremendous possibilities. It's a story of returning to our roots for the community, by the community, of the community. At the end of the internship program, it's time to evaluate the impact and outcomes of the program.
I find that the RISE program has in fact challenged conventional understandings of student exchange and stimulated new ways of thinking. So it's not only about the learning process for you as Indian colleagues, but it is also should be, I think, a learning process for other collaborative programs in other parts of the world.
Yes.
So the program has the potential to become sustainable and replicable, you know.
Yeah.
As students learn more about local entrepreneurial practices and opportunities, and local leaders may get more qualified staff, as well as strengthening their access to future staff.
Yes.
And finally, even though your university does a lot of practice-based learning, I think it will increase your insights into a different form of practice-based learning, which commits and where you have the potential to think in long terms. So hopefully, I would say that it is a win-win situation for all three parties.
These internships served as more effective part in curriculum development for practice-based education with a focus on skills. It's a win-win situation for the student interns, universities, and the social enterprises. Local employment is ensured through social enterprises which improve their livelihoods and income. It helped to increase participation ratio of women farmers as member of FPOs. Tribal farmers were encouraged to form social enterprises in remote locations. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where the words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by three into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake.